Like,
What is up? What is up? Happy Thursday. Apologies for the delay. Shit happens. But we are back with another NXT recap. And today, well, before I get into all that, I am Katrina, host and creator of NCAT We Trust. And I have somebody standing in for I love my lovely twin, Sunshine. Shay, she's not here today. But we have both somebody we both have paired up with several different times, probably her a little more than I have. But I'm here with Bad Guy Jack. How are you this Thursday?
I am fantastic. I mean, apologies. I was running late. I was running really on Black people time. I told the homie here, I said, hey, I'm gonna be there, but like 15 minutes late, and then we went into a bunch of stories. But I am great. I can't wait to talk NXT. You guys have been killing it here on Thursday. You and Shay Sawyer. I look forward to talking some NXT with you and also causing some thunder here because I know we're not going to agree on everything, and I look forward to it.
That is true. we are probably not going to agree. I feel like I don't agree with everybody all the time. But
No.
how do you feel about this week's NXT episode, like as a whole?
It was a fun show. One of the fun things about NXT, oh my God, I already butchered. But one of the fun things about this show is it's digestible. There's a lot of great things. There's a lot of great action, and they progressed a lot of stories. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I know we're going to break down the matches and segments, but I did in fact enjoy NXT.
Yeah, no, I did too. I thought it was pretty solid. I liked some of the stories we got. I also liked um what we're getting with our Carmelo and Trick, and I guess we'll get into that later on. But like, I'm like, okay, you know, I like the memes that we've been getting from it because I feel like we've getting a lot of memes
Oh
of
yeah.
I think one I saw was they made like a comparison to juice. So if those who know what juice is,
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. I know
just
what
like
you're
this
talking
is
about.
so like
I thought you
with
was actually talking about Juventud Guerrera. I'm sorry, because he called the juice. I'm sorry, you're gonna hear that a
yeah,
lot
the
on this
movie.
show.
Talk about the movie. Yeah, talk about the movie with Tupac and Omar Epps and
Mhm.
Khalil King, the guy right there. But yes, it was the whole when you hugged him in the elevator, and it was like the look of Carver. I was
Oh,
like,
that
yo,
look.
dead
Yeah, yeah.
ass. I definitely saw it, and so I was really happy with I guess how I think it's developing. Um, but yeah, otherwise, I think it's a pretty solid episode. Quickly. Hey, hey, George, you are always on it. We truly appreciate you always
The
being like on
first one
time.
always in the room, Sweaterverse George. That's why I call him the Sweaterverse. Look at that sweater. Andre Chase can learn something from you. I can't wait to badmouth that guy. Okay.
Hey, Roderick, how are you? I hope you guys are well.
Roderick is
He
going to say him. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
he already did. He already did. Because like, why are we talking about Goldberg? I feel like like you
Gross.
already put that negativity out there already.
And I bet he's like laughing. I bet he has like that laugh that goes, stop it, Roderick.
Hey, Jeffrey.
Yes, you know what happened. Yeah, you know what happened. We fused, and this is what happened. This is what you got. We fused. We became Jack Air or something like that. I don't know the name. Trying to think of something. What else we got here?
Hey, hey, girly, hey. Um, yeah, it was definitely a pretty solid episode. And so, hold on, let me get my notes. I have my notes for this.
You
And
guys are
so
fancy because y'all have the whole
NXT
setup and everything.
started.
I'm sorry.
I we learned it. I learned a thing or two from that place we left. So so I kind of brought it along with me, the stuff I had to learn to do. But the first matchup we had was actually for the NXT Heritage Cup between Akira Tozawa and Noam Dar. And so I thought this was pretty fun actually for me. Um, just personally because one, I like that Akira kind of I like that he's being taken a little bit more seriously. I'm thinking of like all the times we've seen Akira before, and it was just kind of there like jokey. And so he pretty much scared Noam Dar into accepting his challenge for the cup last week at week 2 of Halloween Havoc, and he's been training with Alpha Academy, which I thought was pretty solid. Um, for me personally, just kind of see them, more of Alpha Academy, in particular Chad Gable, because that's my guy right there. And so the first 3 minutes of this match kind of ended without any falls, even though there was a last second suplex. But there was no falls here. And I was like, okay, we're getting some stuff. And then Gnome did like he like did a pinfall where he like kind of rolled him up and obviously held his tight, so he got the 1-0 lead. He obviously did a couple of cheap shots, but it didn't force disqualification, which I thought it should have, but whatever. Akira Akira did do like an ankle lock at the end of the fourth round, which really I was like, okay, all right, get your stuff happening, and so we were kind of now tied 1-1. During this though, it seemed like there was more of a sense of urgency.
Right.
I feel like all of a sudden, you know, they were trying to do more than the 1-1, and so Vic Joseph did say on commentary that Akira had 17 titles in WWE, and I'm thinking it's the 24/7 championship reigns
It has
that
to
he
be.
was talking about. uh, he also pointed out that Metaphor did not have the numbers advantage because they had Maxine Dupree, as well as Otis and Chad Gable there on the side, which I do think was something, to be said, considering Metaphor is always doing the shenanigans. Um, Maxine will also hit Oro Mensah with a slap, and, they kind of like had a moment where Chad Gable and Otis kind of like beat him up a little bit. But anyway, with that being said, Lash Legend will kind of pull him out of the way. And when Akira was doing like a senton, and with that he was able to kind of close it out with a pin, and he retained his Heritage Cup. And so I was like, oh, I mean, okay, I guess, but it wasn't
Yeah.
a bad way to open. It was all right, not too bad. And so, what were your thoughts on this matchup?
I thought it was a solid open. I'm not really big on the Heritage Cup and the rules and everything like that, but I mean, you can't really go wrong with Noam Dar and Tozawa. Tozawa's been getting a lot of TV time. I mean, he's on Raw. He went on NXT, and I expect him to win any of these matches. But he's going to. He's not going to back. You know what Tozawa feels like to me? He feels like what R-Truth was before he got hurt. He's the comedy character, but if you put him out there, and I feel like the NXT crowd was really, really behind him. Solid stuff. Can't get mad at this. I'm not a fan of Mensah getting attacked like that. I don't think he deserved that. Vic Joseph, who I don't listen to at all, he said some really intelligent things here. I just wish I remembered. Oh, he mentioned something on the lines of Tozawa. Usually in these matches with him and Noam Dar, he has his number, like, and not his number personally, like where he hits him up and say, "Yo, you want to go grab some Pizza Hut?" It's like number meaning he beats this guy all the time, but it wasn't to be. And that's fine. That's fine. It was fun. It was great to see the Alpha Academy. You mentioned Chad Gable. Big fan of what he's doing. Future Intercontinental Champion. And you heard it here. I would say first, but if you listen to a lot of podcasts, maybe fifth. I don't know. But you heard it from me too. So yes.
Yeah, no, it was. I do like that we're getting more TV time with Akira, honestly, just because he's always been kind of jokey, and so it's kind of nice to
Right.
be putting him with. And while they still have the jokey segments with Chad and Otis, it's kind of still like they jokey, but you also know they're gonna do what they're supposed to. And specifically,
I
and
agree.
Otis is good, but with Chad Gable, he's my guy. I've been a fan of him for like a very long time, and so it's nice to kind of see them in general get more TV time and not kind of fall to that. And so we did have a segment with the new, like 2 week new champion, Lyra Valkyria. Pretty much comes out to address uh, the NXT crowd. While she wasn't at week 2 of Halloween Havoc, this was like her first actual address as a champion. But she didn't get too much to not much really happened here. Lyra did get like a nice welcome from the fans. They said you deserved it, what I thought was pretty solid. And if anything, she was kind of interrupted pretty much by Xia Li, who I haven't seen in a little bit, and so it was kind of nice to. I know she was there on Monday Night Raw
Sure.
uh, for Becky Lynch. but it was kind of, nice to kind of see her be taken seriously. Lyra did say, "I know I'm not the only woman who dreamed of taking this," and that, Xylee came out and she kind of knocked out one of the security guards and then kind of came in. And personally, I do think Becky might have passed the torch to, since they supposedly trained together and every of all of that. I'm not sure how long we're gonna have her as champion truly, because who knows? But this
Right.
was a segment, kind of sweet to the point, and I like that they're making Xylee just seem more dominant, because I was kind of confused. Like, I liked her entrance; she had a really good NXT entrance. I thought was really solid, but then we really didn't see her do much, and I was like, how do you have a dope entrance and then she's not really doing much? And so, really short segment to the point, but I'm guessing this is the new challenger for this title. And so, what were your thoughts on
It's
this?
nice to see Lyra. I saw her win the championship live. It was really cool to see it. I thought that she would be the next person to win. Now, when Becky won, I wasn't sure if she would win it from Becky. I just didn't know if they would go that route, and they did. Good for her. I figured that they were gonna have her win it. So cool. They brought her back. That was cool to have her on screen. I do like that. And I just wanted to get in the chat because I saw Jeffrey. He said something, some really good stuff here. He said, "I like that Xia Li is a threat again." Yeah, I like that too because there was a period where you didn't even see it. When they called her to the main roster, she wanted to protect people and then got tired of protecting people and said, "No, I don't want to protect you. I want to hurt you." I think that was great. Until she didn't really hurt anybody because you didn't see her anymore. The segment did what it had to do. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and go like raise the roots, but it was cool. It was cool. It was good to see that, and it's cool to see that Xia Li never took her eye off the title too, because she kept telling Becky, "I'm going for that title. I'm going for that title. I'm going for the title." Becky lost it. Now she want to fight Becky and win that championship. So I think that's cool. I think that's cool continuity. So yeah.
Yeah, no. I definitely like this new presentation. I hope it lasts. I feel like Shawn Michaels has been trying, like, to make sure everything stays on top. So we'll see, because sometimes I have to look at
Listen,
Shawn
okay,
and be like,
look. I know you work with Shay, and yeah. I give this Michaels guys all the flowers, and look, he's been doing some good stuff. I would give him credit, but I'm not a bank, so I can't do that. But that's only one. That's it. No more of this Shawn Michaels stuff. One credit, a show with me. Stop it. We're not gonna act like Shawn Michaels is in Hell's Kitchen and he's cooking it up. Let's take it easy. He just made peanut butter and jelly. He cut the crust. Let's calm it down. You knew
oh
that the
my
stuff was going to go off the air when I was here. I'm the boom to the thunder, baby. Boom.
oh man. I'm just saying, considering he's been trying to get it going, um, NXT. I feel like he's really been stepping. He did his thing when Tony Khan had his meltdown on Twitter for like a week.
Listen,
kind of.
times are hard for him right now. Take it easy. They didn't show him on the. You remember that NWA clip? They didn't show him in the back. I know you know what clip I'm talking about. There we go.
So he was like, after he lost, the reigns to NXT, he was on like a whole week tirade. So like,
No, he really was. It was really pathetic though. It was really sad to see. It's a grown
honestly,
man
I
acting
was
like
like,
this.
my guy, like, I was like, just take a trip or something. Like, bro, you got money? Like, take a trip. Take a trip. You don't need to be this upset about Twitter. I don't know. It was just a weird thing. But so ever since then, I feel like he's really been on it. He's really been on it because I feel like he's been extra like, let's put my foot on the pedal and just like not let up. The fact that we're getting
That's how
Lita.
you get a speeding ticket, by the way. Putting your foot on the pedal like this. This is not Fast X. Take it easy, Con. Can you imagine he's the next bad villain in the Fast series because it's never going to stop? But carry on. I could just keep going.
I feel like no, he wouldn't even last. Like Dom
No, he wouldn't because I forget what his name was. Aquaman. I forget his name. Jason, right? Is it Jason?
Base, yes, Jason Momoa.
I don't know. Well, he was acting like Seth Rollins in that movie, and I thought he did fantastic. I loved it. I loved all of it. He said, "Blow up." Loved all of that.
Actually, I was, a big fan of him in that movie. I
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm semi biased because he's like second base. He's like other Roman Reigns.
Second that.
Um,
Okay.
second bait because Roman
No
Reigns is
one's beating Roman.
top tier, top tier level. However, Jason Momoa's movies have always upset me because it was like, what the fuck is this? Every time. And I'm like, I want to support you. I want to support you. But what is this? And it's just not good. It's not good at all. And so he was actually good
So
in
you don't
Fast
like
10
Aquaman?
I do like Aquaman, but I
Oh,
think it's
okay.
because James Wan did it. Because James Wan is my guy. He gave me Insidious and The Conjuring. I feel like,
Okay.
he gave us Saw. He gave us some bangers. I feel like that's why he was good. Which I'm sure why Patrick Wilson was in it is literally because of James Wan's movie. Like he loves Patrick Wilson.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
outside of Aquaman, Jason Momoa's movies have left me very sad, and I'm like, God damn it, you make it hard to be a fan. So
Oh,
he
he left you
redeemed
sad.
himself. He
You
made
know
me
what
sad.
he's
So I'm
given
like,
me? You're a little too hard on Jason Momoa or so, right? I do want to sit here and say what he has given me is a lovely 8 hours of sleep. So thank you, Jason, for your movies. I have been well rested, and I appreciate that so much because I like being well rested because I'm in my mid-30s and I cannot stay up like I used to.
well, I haven't seen. I gotta put this comment up. Just don't do that. Don't. Wait.
Yes,
Let's
Momoha. Yes, that's
this. Don't do that.
this
He was
Jeffrey
great.
guy is
Like,
very rude.
of all the ridiculousness that was in Fast 10, and there was a lot. There was so much ridiculousness. He was like the best part of it because after a
He
while, I was
really
like,
was.
you know what, like if by now you haven't decided what family was, I'm gonna tell you, I feel like in 10 movies you should have figured it out. You should have figured it out for the level. You should have figured it out. Now, to be fair, Han, which is my guy as well.
Yeah.
Han is my guy. I will listen. Jason Statham was on my list for years when I thought he died, and I was like, "Oh, Jason!" And then he was alive again, and I was like, "Oh, well, I guess you're not on the list anymore." So
I gotta watch that movie back because I don't understand how he came back alive. But I gotta watch that previous movie
he
now.
was like rolled out of the car when it blew up. Personally, I remember how Tokyo Drift made me feel when they got to zoom in on his face and he was looking all sad, and I was like, "No!" And then he blew up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I had to grieve for like 5 years. Uh, so I was devastated. And to be fair, I needed all the prequel movies, and he was in the prequels. But I'm like, Han was the best fucking part of Tokyo Drift because that guy I wanted to push out of a something. Him and that girl, I just wanted them both to like die. Like I was wanting Drift King to kick their ass so bad. I was like, you know what, DK, kick their ass. And so Han was the best part. But with that being said, shit, I got distracted.
That's what I do. I really ruin everything.
Yeah. With regards going back, I guess to the whole Twitter content, he has not recovered. Shawn Michaels has been on his neck as he should be.
He's the only person he can get on, next he can get on. I'm just saying. I mean, we know the stories with Shawn Michaels, but I'll take it easy. Michaels, you've been doing your big one. Good job. You've been cooking on NXT, and I appreciate that because I like a good product. So shout out to Michael Shawn.
See, Roderick, this is the time to comment or some good comments, because yes, he was cooking it up, chefing it up. Okay, doing the Steph Curry, chefing it up.
Chefing it up. Chefing it up. There we go.
You do this thing. So the CW for me is like basic cable, I believe. It's like Channel 11. It was what WB used to be. So I do have CW. I was saying on Twitter, I honestly believe we need to get drama. Like if the match promo pictures are not dramatic, I'm gonna be upset. They better take it and run. I better see somebody looking like the Flash. I don't know who. Maybe Alan Dragunov look like the Flash all of a sudden, and then it's like drama. It's like what's gonna happen next week, and they play this really dramatic song, and it's like this really dramatic commercial. And it's like, yes, the drama, like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, whatever, all the superheroes.
Not Dawson's Creek. Do not bring that back. I will have a fit. No, honestly, I do have to sit here and say I wish they didn't take so long to do this crossover. Because think about this: Nathan Fraser and the Flash, and some kind of crossover. Oh, that would have been magic.
So I feel like that's like if WWE and Shawn Michaels don't get that together, everything needs to be mad dramatic. It needs to be so dramatic. Like it needs to be like Tiffany Fox Smack have like a Riverdale background. It needs to be all the drama. That's what I expect going for it. So I'm okay with it. I guess we'll see what we get. I hope it's not going to be like super cheesy though, because that's the problem with CW shows. I always annoyed how cheesy it was. But
it still is too.
I mean, to be fair, the only reason why I watch half those DC shows because my child, she's a DC fan, and so I'm a Marvel person. She's more DC, and so she had me watch all that.
Let's go
That
Marvel. Oh, you're not
amen,
seeing. Are you
amen,
seeing
yeah.
the Marvels?
I do need to see it. I need to
Okay.
see it. I just want to see what they do with the girlies. Uh,
With the girlies. We gotta see what the girlies are doing. Absolutely. Shout out to who's
see,
X? That's a cool name. Is
no,
Twitter
no,
writing us?
no. This is
Is
this
this
is you.
Twitter?
Listen here, Max. This is YouTube. Listen here. Don't put that negativity in the air.
It's just
Like
random X.
this. Yeah, that's like when I saw that picture, I had to like take a minute to myself because I'm like, there's no way we're the same. Like me and Cody. No, no, no. Like
This Cody,
I,
you gotta
I
listen.
pride myself on being a Hufflepuff. That's like pride right there. And the fact that he is, I'm like, oh, I might have to become Slytherin. That's hard for me to say. Uh,
You're staying like you gotta let this go. I don't know what this beef with you and Cody is. You can't hold grudges. Holding
I
grudges is not.
hold grudges. Okay,
Yeah, I love that. Good job.
I definitely hold a grudge.
Good. You know what?
Um,
As you should.
I should. I know. Like it's like
Absolutely. I still
I
hold a
just
grudge on my fourth grade teacher, and I don't even
I'm
know she's
telling
still
you,
here.
like this is like money. Like they really need to like it needs to be so over the top. Like Carmelo needs to be that random football quarterback who like kind of plays but don't really play, but he's gonna
He
be
would be
mad
great in that
dramatic.
show.
And then like him and Trick have like some random girl that's just there because CWS has girl drama. And then like oh my god no, and it's like oh you stabbed me in my back, and then it's like that look that he did literally on Tuesday, and it's just
You
like
are.
yes, drama,
I
drama. I'm
gotta give
telling
you
you.
credit. You are really a writer because that was damn good. That was like so damn good. I was like, I wanted to start crying when you said Mello looks at him and then he gives him that look. The tear flew down my eye. Good
Drama,
stuff.
drama. We need the drama. That's all I'm saying is like they got to make it happen. And
No,
that Vampire Diaries, that Vampire Diaries, crazy. I'm telling you, it'll be great. And the Cody slander will start every time. Okay, have y'all learned nothing? I feel like the Cody
I
slander will start.
clearly haven't. I just want
Like
to
I
throw that
feel
out there.
like the Cody slander has been here for years. It literally has. Like even before I was a mom to three, the Cody slander was here. I just need you to understand. And my
Wait,
youngest
you
kid is
didn't like Cody when he had the mustache?
I hate.
Mustache?
I hate
Oh, I
him.
already knew. Once I see that, that's done. That means Maboose.
Oh my god, I hated him with that mustache. Whew.
I felt like he was going to just give me a car that was going to break down as soon as I drove out of the parking lot. So yeah, I agree.
Oh no, I just he that was a pedo stash. I hate mustaches like that. Like, oof, oof, just okay. Sorry, I just felt real stressed right there. But,
So I told you before we started the show was going to go off the rails, but great job.
never letting it. See, you know what? You know what, Shay? Like, I love you, sunshine and all, but like,
See, this is what I wanted this whole time. This is the CW drama I wanted between you two. This is great right here. See what you did, Shay Sawyer? Everyone trusts Shay Sawyer, but I've known all along. He turns on you in a heartbeat right here. This is proof. I want this being recorded. George, Jeffrey, record this, send this to me. See this? The great betrayal right here. Right here, we're getting the trust wars right before our very eyes. Right here. Good job, Shay Sawyer. Look at that. And you know Shay was going to turn on you. Look at the capital S at the end. Arrogance. Look at that capital S at the end. Right there. Told you. This is what I'm talking about right here. Yes. I got what I wanted.
Stuff, like my kids, we called him like.
I'm probably getting fired after this.
I'm gonna like flip all of you guys. I'm gonna stop these shenanigans. He's no king. He's just ragging Cody Rhodes. I just, I swear to God, watch she be the person I see at Survivor Series. I'm gonna be so upset. I feel like this is just gonna be like my payback because I keep talking shit. They're gonna be like, "How you doing, man?"
This is your karma, right?
I feel like he's gonna be the one I'm gonna see. And then
this is gonna be great.
Then I gotta be nice.
Great. And I'm gonna make sure that I clip that and add the whoa.
If they're gonna make sure that doesn't get recorded, okay? Make sure it doesn't get recorded. But yes, sorry, we kind of went off track, guys. But just saying, the Cody Rhodes stash is incorrect. We just can't. We can't because no. Um, no, ugh, yuck. But let us bring it back in to some more NXT, which led us to the first women's match, but also led me to somebody I'm not particularly a fan of, and that was the Iron Survivor qualifying match between Fallon Henley and Tiffany Stratton. Now, to be fair, I think I might dislike
Mhm.
Fallon a little less, only because she's annoying, and I have not forgiven her. I'm gonna get to these comments. I have not forgiven her for the shenanigans she was doing with Kiana James, but this match was I feel like this is pretty quick.
Mhm.
I feel like this didn't really last too long. Personally, uh,
Yeah.
there was like after I felt like she kind of she really beat her up. Like honestly, I feel like the fact that it says like a competitive. I feel like it really wasn't that competitive. Honestly, I feel like she really like Fallon didn't get too much offense in personally. And while Tiffany, I know people really appreciated her. I guess after her match with Becky Lynch, she was decent. I'm not gonna say it was terrible. It really wasn't. It's just me not being a fan. And so she at one point I think threw Tiffany over the side, threw Fallon over the side. And I believe Shay said that to me because I was laughing. I was like, this is what she deserves for her shenanigans. And so she pretty much did her prettiest moonsault, did all that, and pretty much got the win. And so she will be moving forward as far as for this Iron Survivor match that we got. I think this is the second time we're doing this.
Yes.
I feel like I just yeah, that's the thing. I don't really even with that little bit that she did, I felt like after that it was pretty overshadowed. I think that was what it was for me. I felt like Tiffany when she did all that, it was like, oh okay. And so we'll see. But Tiffany did win this match. She is the one who went past. Who guess will be making it into the next portion of this. But the moonsault was pretty freaking spot on. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll give you a half a point because I can't give you a lot of points because you
I
know.
have a point.
And I will agree. I don't think she should have been champion in the first place. But that is a rant for another day. I don't think she should have been champion, and she was champion. And so I do think she shouldn't be. She doesn't need it. Just let her do what she does in the ring. But we'll see. I thought otherwise it was what it was for what it wasn't. It was pretty solid for what we got. Um, but yeah, what were your thoughts on this
I
matchup?
I feel like you worded everything well done. It's funny. It's been a while. It's been only a few days. I mean, I say a while like it's been years, right? But I looked back in this one spot in the match, and Tiffany literally just threw out the ring. I don't know why. I just kind of chuckled. Um, I don't think it was ever in doubt that Tiffany was going to win this and move forward into the Iron Survivor Challenge match. And I guess they wanted to give her a strong win. So I don't have like major thoughts. I thought it was just there, but um, and I think also to the tie knot into this feud. So it was fine. It was fine. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't 5 stars at the Tokyo Dome. It was decent. It was there.
Not 5 stars. I was like, let's call Meltzer.
Meltzer would give it like he said. Where was this at? Oh, in Florida. Oh my God, that's one. That's not Japan.
Yeah, he would have did. He would have did nothing. He would have definitely been like, okay, definitely would have not been on it. But yeah, this was it was what it was. It wasn't terrible. I think this was, if anything, it made Tiffany seem a little bit more uh dominant. She
Yeah.
definitely did. I was like, God damn, like she just tossed her. That's how people need to be tossed. That's how Cody should be tossed, honestly. But whatever. Um,
Wow, this is like almost like this is we're going to talk after the show, but oh my God.
Listen, the Cody Road Tate will stay. Okay, and there's certain people that no matter what, like, is it as bad as Goldberg Tate? No, I feel like there's nobody on the level of Goldberg. Goldberg really is terrible.
Goldberg. Oh my God. You know what he deserved? He deserved to be like he'll order like coffee instead they just give him apple juice because it's not what he wants. I'm just saying he deserved to get his order wrong when he goes to a restaurant. And that's how you send a message to somebody. Just the other day, someone said, "Hey, I want apple juice," and I just gave him cranberry. I don't know if they were allergic to it, but I taught them a lesson because they didn't get what they wanted. That's what you do.
For your comment here, George. I mean, it's possible. I don't get Alexa Lopez as doing stuff only for somebody else. I get the vibes that she's more for self. There's a reason for her attaching herself to Lola. I don't even think Lola should have won the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, and
I agree.
we didn't get to have we didn't get to have the NXT episode last week. I was actually very annoyed by that. I knew once I was like, oh, because the fans are like going hard because she's. And let me be clear, Kalani Jordan is very pretty as well, but you can just tell the fans.
Mhm.
They go hard for Lola because Lola has assets, and so I feel like that was the reason why she won. I thought Kalani should have won it personally, but
I agree. No, I
I
agree.
can
Matter of fact,
admit,
when I was at night one, and when I was in the area, you can hear them really like when I was there, and they were really going for a Lola. And I think Lola, she's solid, she's decent. You could tell she still needs some work, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But between the two, definitely Cleani was the should have been the better one. Yeah, but that crowd, at my point was that they were really behind her to the point where I was like, oh, because it's different from on TV, and then there, and then when you hear it, it's like, oh wow, this is really a thing.
yeah, no, it I was highly upset, but we
George,
uh
take it
listen.
easy, George.
So to be fair, during last week I was doing 20 things.
Mhm.
It's been hectic. It really has been. I've been doing too much, but Shawn Michaels got like the rage. Like if I was Professor X and I can just do this, he felt it. That was the vibes. Because I was highly upset. Um,
That makes sense. You just
I was highly upset. As far as you write it down every time, I will give you a notebook so you can write down every time I'm gonna talk shit until I am old and gray. Okay, I'm gonna be old. Cody's gonna be God knows where, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? That time 50 years ago, fuck Cody Rhodes. That's the vibes. Those are the
that.
vibes. I need you to understand. The vibes are
Ooh,
gonna be there.
ooh, ooh,
The vibes gonna be
damn.
there, guys. Um, yeah, I wanted Kalani. I really did.
Yeah.
Aaron Grace would have been if they were trying to be funny with her character. It would have been she would have been extra annoying, extra over the top, like how she was. I loved her tweets by the way after this NXT episode. She was so on it, and I was like, yes, this is like just that annoying greeting character that's just
Mhm.
like, oh, you're so extra. Like she's like, it's about me, and I love that to the point. I didn't even Darius Carter, if y'all don't know who he is, wrestler from the East Coast side, New York, New
He's
Jersey.
fantastic.
He was like, I was like, yes, this is the kind of stuff you're doing. It's about you. And he was like, even he agreed with that. And I was like, yeah. And so she's great. But I thought it should have been Kalani personally.
Agreed.
Um,
Totally. So
and
much.
so after that, there was a couple of segments. One being with um Von
Mhm.
Wagner, pretty much the match. Kind of like it was a backstage segment. A referee emerged from Shawn Michaels' office and said that he was told to exercise his discretion to the rules of the match between Ron Wagner and Braun Breaker. And then you see Ava Rain kind of going into Shawn Michaels' office as well. There was also an altercation backstage, which wound up leading to the bout we will get later on with Drew Gulak and Otis. So, what were your thoughts on those segments?
It was fine. It was there. It was cool to get add a little bit more layers to certain stories, like you was talking about the referee being backstage, coming out of Shawn Michaels' office for the Vaughn and Braun match, and also seeing and something that WWE have been doing a lot lately is almost like you have to pay attention to the background because I honestly missed when Ava went into Shawn Michaels' office. It wasn't until I was on this funny app called Twitter and I saw a picture and I was like, oh look, that's Ava. Cool. So yeah, I thought that was cool, and I'm interested in seeing what because I don't even think the whole thing was about the ref. I mean, yeah, sure, it was it's about the story, but it was also what's going to happen with Ava. What's going forward with her, and I'm interested in seeing what happens with her.
Yeah, no, same. I want to see, especially with having like Paul talk to her on that episode of NXT that Tony lost. But
Where?
I'm interested to see where they go with this as well. But this now leads us and we will get back to this comment, Shay, because yes, it was so unnecessary. Like it was like, why are you doing the most? She was doing extra for no reason. Ariana Grace was just there, being there, like shenanigans. But
Shenanigans.
pure shenanigans. But this now leads us to our matchup with Braun Breaker versus Von Wagner. And so the last time we saw the two of them together,
You couldn't get a better picture? What is this? You did this on purpose. Why did you do that? You know I like Von Wagner. You couldn't get somewhere that was just standing
You're
together.
one of the few who like Von Wagner because this is crazy.
No, listen. Listen, there's a lot of us, and there's not enough room for you guys now because y'all want to join the Von Wag. It's a one-seater. I know this because I call shotgun, and yes, there's a lot of. This is the best you got for Von? What is this? Oh, you thought Shay was going to be here and eat this up. Well, guess what? I'm full. I will not eat nothing because I'm not hungry. This is nonsense. You are not here. You are in the chat. How dare you? Braun was tearing Von up. That's not true.
I mean,
no, she's doing this on purpose. She's trying to throw me off my flow, but I have too much rhythm, so I can't be thrown off. They call me Left Feet Jack for a reason.
Oh my god. He was definitely tearing him up.
Stop that.
Just say it. And so Braun did beat him up in September. He really did. He was supposed to be hospitalized, blah blah blah. And so this was a bit physical. I don't know. I feel like it was physical, and you can see that there's supposed to be like hatred between the two of them. But what I didn't understand was like I felt like there was something missing. And I don't know if this was just like something like even with them beating each other up, rather, I feel like it wasn't like there was either some intensity missing. There was just something missing. I don't know. But with that being said, Braun would win at Shred with a spare to win the matchup. However, it didn't really end, the way it was supposed to end. And so Ron Wagner does what he does. There was a moment where apparently there was there was a collection of candy on the table, and Vic Joseph said he didn't care about his candy, that put him through the table, Vaughn. And that's exactly what Ron Wagner does, because apparently everybody always goes to a table. And so Robert Stone did get himself involved as well. He came in there, kind of, hit him with the chair, and Ron Wagner in turn puts Braun. Oops, it's not. I got a picture of it. I don't. But he does put Braun to another table because apparently that's what they do. And then Ron Wagner and Robert Stone will have like a hug, and that's kind of how that ended. Again, I don't know. I just felt like it could have been more for all of the table thing. I don't know. I feel like something was definitely missing from it, which I thought was a little bit weird to me.
Do you feel like it was an intensity?
I do. I feel like it was to kind of accumulate all of this, and we get from two of them with all this violence and then the table things over and over. Sure. You would think it would have been like, okay, this is it, and I don't know. It just didn't seem like it should have. I don't know, but I agree. He definitely don't win, but somebody will definitely go through a table because apparently that's what he's good for. I didn't I don't know. It just, and I agreed. I don't know how, this is kind of like that dumb Goldberg stuff when he was like hitting himself and getting himself concussions. Makes no sense.
When he had with the lockers, right?
Why are you doing shenanigans like that? I don't understand, but
that's fair. That's fair. That's actually a fair point.
All right, I guess. And I don't know. It was okay. What were your thoughts?
I honestly thought Vaughn was going to go over. So when Braun won, but I do have to sit here and say Braun winning was the right thing to do. I feel like Braun took it a lot of L's lately. He lost to Mello. He lost to Baron Corbin at that PLE. And there might have been another loss. I feel like there was another loss in between. I just can't think of it. I feel like it was dragging off, but I just don't remember. So I said, oh, maybe he's going to lose here. I mean, he's done everything in NXT, or everything that he could, and he's main roster ready. But seeing him beat Vaughn, I was like, okay, I feel like we're gonna get another match with him, and I feel like it's gonna be a tables match because he keeps putting Braun Breaker through the table. I guess you would say Vaughn is the real breaker because he keeps breaking Braun. Their names are similar. That's why I keep mixing it up, and that's my dad joke for the show, and I'm proud of it. I'm gonna give myself Jeffrey. give me a 15 points. He's my point collector, so that's what he does. He gives points. But everyone's talking about. I saw someone in the chat, and they were like, "Oh, look, I'm Vaughn. I don't win matches. I put through tables." Well, guess what? Maybe Vaughn didn't win the match, but he won the war because I know a thing or two about history. I read a page one time, and what I know is if you're the last person standing, you won. So good on Vaughn. Sorry, Braun, that you have to be eating table. I'll give you a fork so you continue to eat the meal of the table. Thank you, Jeffrey. See right there, my point collector right there.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, but same, because no.
You have really odd twins. This is why, like, I can't deal with you guys at the same time. It's a handicap match with you guys, and I don't
This
even
is
think I'm
great.
prepared for this. Someone give me the tag rope, please.
Listen, you have to know what they get from me and Shay.
Oh yeah, I know. I've been in the chat. I've seen it.
But yeah. Otherwise, it wasn't bad. It just I was like, I mean, I guess that's kind of how I felt about this.
But I think it
So
leads to another match. I think this is like that. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like it's just leading to another match. And I think also too, and someone said that, I think it was Jeffrey who said he wasn't all there because he's just coming back from this major injury, right? His head got smashed. So yeah, maybe that's why the match wasn't there. I'm not sure, but I do see what you're saying. Is my point. I do see
yeah.
what you're saying.
And so this now leads us to some more ladies action, which was between Kalani Jordan and Roxanne Perez versus Electra Lopez and Lola Vice. And so this was pretty okay. So this is obviously a week after Lola won the NXT Breakout Tournament, partnering up with Electra Lopez, and so this was solid. Actually, I do think that they could have gotten a little more time. Um, Kind of just to get a better feel for it. I think if they would have gave them some more time, we could have had some moments. I thought this for what we got though was pretty solid. Ariana Grace,
Great.
coming in, just being there, I thought was really great. I think for me it makes me laugh because I'm like I think she's really holding in on this character. But this is solid action work with them working together. In particular, Kalani and Roxanne. I thought they worked really well. I just thought we could have had some more. So this was pretty much set up by like the backstage conversation happened early in the show. And even though Roxanne had her moments, Kalani was able to get the win for this team uh, by what did she do? I'm trying to remember what she did. I haven't got my notes again. Pretty much, she basically won this match. It slowed down a bit towards the end of the match, which I was kind of sad about. I thought it should have stayed kind of high paced like it was in the beginning. But Kalani did win the match for the team, which was kind of like I guess yay after losing last week. But I don't think she should have lost in the first place.
Right.
And then Ariana Grace. Jesus, not Grande. Ariana Grace will kind of try to take some spotlight during this after this win. But Carmen, because clearly she was hating, Carmen Petrovic will come and knock her down on the ramp, and then they had the little few words on Twitter, which I thought was great. But I do think that this was again for what we got, it was pretty solid. I do think they should have had some more time, personally. Um,
Yeah.
and yes, it was the split leg moonsault. Thank you. But otherwise, I think it was decent for what we got. I do think we should have had some more time, and I do think Electra would. I feel that as well.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Uh, I do think it is, but I thought it was pretty solid either way. Again, Ariana just kind of going in with her character, especially on Twitter. She was at it for like a couple of days, and I was like, yes, talk your shit. She was like, I think everybody wanted to see her. I thought it was really well. I thought it just to play that up like that even on Twitter, I thought was really good. But we'll see what we get going forward. With regards to Lola, Electra, even what we're gonna get from Kalani next, and like it seems like Roxanne moved on from her thing with Blair, which I guess made sense after all of that. Excuse me, with Blair and then Kiana James as well.
Yeah.
I feel like where else can you go after all of that? And so I guess they're gonna try to move her to something else, and we'll see what they do with that. But what were your thoughts on this matchup?
It was there. It was there. I think they wanted you to do the story. I'm glad that George said that because I was thinking. So he said Electra Lopez. I don't know why I'm thinking Lola turning on him. My point is I see them turning on each other. I don't know who. Um, it was there. I don't really have like major thoughts. It was there. I think they just wanted to get Roxanne on the show. Roxanne is she's a delight. Like once again, how do you boo Roxanne Perez? Like how do you that's a choice. But it was there. And it was good that Cleana got the win. And I did want to say because we talked about her split legged moonsault, something that I really like. She calls it one of a kind. I feel like it's a play off RVD. So I just thought that was if that's what she was going for, awesome stuff. Because RVD is great.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. He's not one of my faves, but he's not terrible. So
That's fair.
just, uh,
That's
just,
fair.
just and people's like, oh, him and Jeff. I'm like, don't ask me that. No, the answer to that question obviously going to always be Jeffrey.
Oh, you talking about him and Jeff Hardy? Ah,
Yeah, people's like, oh, so I'm like, I will always pick Jeff Hardy. Like
if
always.
I could say, and I don't fault you on that. Jeff Hardy was dope, right? And I remember he had that match. There was Extreme Rules, and I said I never watched ECW. I just didn't watch it. And they had that match at Invasion 2001. I saw him hit the Van Daminator on Jeff Hardy. I said, "Who the hell is this guy?" I immediately turned on Jeff Hardy. I'm not even going to hold you, but Jeff Hardy ended up getting some wins back on RVD. So shout out to Jeff Hardy.
Just because I was a Jeff Hardy fan, I didn't really watch ECW or WCW because like F them. I was like, no, it's always Jeff Hardy. So anybody who went against Jeff, I automatically disliked. Automatically.
If he was on
Automatically.
the opposite side, you immediately said, "Oh,
Like,
you're the
oh,
enemy."
you don't go against Jeff? Sorry, guys. Like when he was going against Matt, I was like,
I mean, everybody really just jumped on the, at that point, like, who just sat here and was like, no one sat here and was like, yeah, Matt. No, that if you did, that was a choice. No one did that. I'm sorry. Back in the early 2000s, we're not far apart in age. I know when we were in school, no one sat here and was like, Matt. No one said that. Like, that, no. I'm sorry. That never happened.
My love for Matt Hardy lasted, I think, like 3 months in junior high school.
Oh, you talking about that run that he had?
No, it just I like liked him first, and then Jeff
Oh.
up the ladder, and I was like, and that was it. It was over after that. I was like, oh no. So like my friend at the time liked Jeff. I liked Matt, but that lasted literally 3 months, and then I was like,
Yeah.
but Jeff is doing all this, man, and that was it. After that, nothing. I couldn't tell you nothing about him. And so yeah, I just anybody that went against Jeff, I was usually on the opposite side. Just because I'm like, nah, we're gonna
Fair
do Jeff.
enough.
Jeff.
Fair enough. I thought it was actually really dope when you got to meet. I know you really wanted to meet Jeff Hardy, but it was nice that Matt was there. He was there, so I know. Hey, listen, it's always nice. It was a picture of you, Jeff, and plant.
Yeah. No, yeah, they were both really nice. I just Jeff is like everything.
Jeff, listen, he was the daredevil. When I used to do backyard wrestling, I wanted to do that stuff. I climbed up a ladder and I said, "Oh shit," and I stopped. I immediately said, "This looked like this might be bad." Absolutely.
Partially that, also partially because like for me, it was literally he dyed his hair like when he had that red and blonde, and I was like, guys, I'm sorry.
And his personality too. Like
and then he had like green eyes and everything. I was like, oh, you my guy right here. And so I'm just, it was real. The session was real. It was real. That was he's the reason I was I'm a writer. As I told him, literally the reason I started writing publicly. So
there you go. The inspiration.
But yeah. Otherwise, after this, there was a segment, like a pre-taped video, which set up the fight between OTM and the Brawling Brutes. And so I'm like, okay, looking forward to this fight. But yeah, what were your thoughts in regards, I guess, to this? I guess as far as like Ariana Grace's character, but also about this matchup we're getting between Brawling Brutes and OTM.
I like the Brawling Brutes. I do like the storyline where I think Shay said it on Twitter. Like it's pretty much I was from the streets too. Like that's the kind of vibes you got. That's cool. Grace, she's great. She's great. I don't know a whole lot about her. I think I've seen some of her stuff, but from the stuff that I see, it's great that she knows she knows her character and she knows how to make that work. And I think that's going to help her in the long run. So fantastic stuff. Good stuff. And because I've seen people even say, oh well, look who her father is. Although that don't mean anything. There's a lot of people whose father was more charismatic than their kid. It's just great that she's able to capture that. So good job on her end.
Yeah, no, I was very fortunate to interview her with the place I formerly worked for. It was one of my first big interviews actually, and I
Oh,
remember
nice.
when she was saying she was training and everything, and she was explaining like even with her dad and how that was, and that how he's like literally always joking, and I thought that was cool that they had like a really close relationship, and so it's nice to kind of see her
Lovely.
taking some even kayfabe when she mentioned like the aunt, and she was like my aunt, and even keeping up to even that character when he was dressed like that. It was just like I
That's
love
so cool.
that she kept it with that even with now, and so we'll see, but Peaky Blinders is a pretty solid show, honestly. Just saying, pretty solid. I'm
Yeah.
not even a fan of Rich Holland though. I feel like my guy is, Seamus obviously, but Butch. Uh,
Yeah.
and yes, agreed. I think just I
It's
love that she
very.
still like she referenced that like my aunt, she's getting from her aunt. I was like, keep kayfabe alive. I respect it.
There we go.
Um, which now leads us to our match with Otis versus Drew Gulak. And so this was pretty decent, not too bad. And so the fans, for one, seemed really, really hyped for Otis, which was really nice to see. Because I felt like they were really hyped for Lyra, but they seemed like almost if not close or more for Otis. It seemed like it really was
Mhm.
just okay, you know. Alpha Academy, I thought made them look really well in general, just from earlier with them being there with Akira Tozawa, but also just them here, which I thought was pretty solid. And so this was like a pretty fun match. It was some good solid action between the two of them, which I really liked. I love again how from when I first remember seeing Otis to now, how I think even though he was cool with his, I can't think of his other partner's name right now, but like I,
Tucker.
yeah, there you go. I know a lot of people didn't like him, so
Oh yeah.
a lot of people didn't like him.
Wow.
But what I do like his like chemistry with Chad Gable
That.
personally.
Yeah.
I think they really really have it. And it seems like if anything, people liked Otis before. They liked him when he had the whole Mandy Rose storyline, but now I feel like they're really really on him, and I think a part of it is also because he's with Chad, and Chad is just very likable. But just to this part, I do think Otis definitely dominated more
Dominated. Yeah.
on this match. He definitely did. But I thought this was pretty solid for what it was. And while Drew is, like in regards to like all around, he's a pretty solid wrestler. I just think this was mostly, to kind of give Alpha Academy another like way to shine a bit. And so Otis
Yeah.
would win this matchup as he should. Personally, I just thought it made no sense to have him there if they wasn't going to have them win. And so this was a really well, especially since Akira lost earlier in the night. You can't have them both. You can't have both of them lose on both
Oh,
teams.
that would have
But
been
otherwise,
wild.
they would have been. It definitely would have been. But this was again a really solid match for what we got. And it's nice to kind of see Alpha Academy personally to kind of see them get more platforms. But what uh, is your thoughts on this matchup?
How can you not like Otis, right? Or just because Roderick is in the chat, he wanted to make sure we said Otis. Um, it was fine. I think that it it did a few things here. You was able to get Alpha Academy on. They're pretty over. I think they're pretty overact on the main roster, right? And then you have I don't even know what this team is called with Drew Gulak. I don't know what they're called, but they're pretty. I like them. I mean, it was fine. It was fine. I guess that's the best way I could describe it. It was fine. Drew Gulak, he's a solid hand in there, but he's not there to win. He's there to put over said talent, and I think he did it. I think he did his job. And after this, I forgot what the reason was, but Alpha Academy said they'll be back here next week. They'll be back here next Tuesday.
Yep, and I'm
So
here for it.
yeah,
Definitely here for it. I guess it's nice to see them doing their own platforms and more platforms to kind of shine.
I
So we'll
agree.
see. We'll definitely see. And after that, there was a segment with Tiffany and Kiana James, which it looked like Tiffany kind of says she doesn't mind her. I don't know if that means they're gonna make them be together. I don't know how long it'll last if they do put them together, just because like realistically they both very similar as far as like ego. And so I don't know how long a partnership will last. That's what we're getting, but I kind of definitely got the vibes that they're probably gonna set them up to do something together. And so, what were your thoughts on that segment?
I think this was better than the remake of Mean Girls. I knew you would appreciate that because you said I saw your tweet when you was like, "Why are they doing this?" So yeah, that's my best way to describe that.
Right from like, I'm like, why? I just like I feel like the Hollywood world is just so out of ideas because it's like, why do you need to remake? It's been long, but it hasn't been that long that you need to remake Mean Girls. And then to have it where it's like you brought some of the characters back,
Yeah, they
but
did. They brought back Tina Fey's
it's a
character. I didn't see anybody else.
there was I think one other person that I thought I peeped that
Hmm.
seemed to be in there, but I'm just like it's supposed to be a musical, and I'm like, why? It just, I don't know. And then this, the guy that's supposed to be like Aaron, just looked real. Like the tweets were great. Honestly, it was like the tweets about him was great because they was like the universe was like the world clearly is not right, and I'm like, agreed, because what is this? And then I just it's so many scenes that's like repeated, and I'm like, why are you repeating like this much of repetition is unnecessary. It's one thing to do like a scene or two for homage, but like get real, guys. And so I'm just over it. So definitely, and both of them are definitely mean girls. And so we'll see, what they happens. But I do think it's going to be a thing. I feel like that's where they're trying to go with that. And like they're not really, they kind of both away from their feuds right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Um, which then leads us now to our
Mm.
final not well final match of the night because there's a segment after it, but this is the final match of the night, which is an Iron Survivor Challenge qualifier between
Ooh.
Tyler Bates and Dijak. And so this, I know, Shay likes to Dijak, but I know she likes Tyler Bates as well because I like Tyler Bates, my guy. And so I feel like this could have gone anyway in the beginning, honestly, just because I thought both of them had really solid moments. There was a moment that Tyler Bate did like a superplex from the top rope onto Dijak, which I thought was really freaking fantastic. Um, he also did like a German release suplex, but Dijak kind of like landed on his feet, and so you know, the fact that he was able to do that, I thought was pretty impressive for his size. But this was pretty solid. I really do think it could have went any way. Uh, and it, I feel like Tyler slightly kind of said teased that this, it seems like the industry is kind of like passing them by in that regards. But I thought this was a really, really like solid match, honestly. Unfortunately, and this is for me just because I'm more of a Tyler Bates fan, Dijak would come out on top and move forward in this for the qualifying rounds. And so I was like, oh, that makes me sad because, I like Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate is my guy. But yeah, otherwise, I truly, truly enjoyed this match. Definitely a highlight for me for NXT. And I don't know. I guess we'll see how it feel, what they're gonna go with Tyler Bate from here. But it made me a little bit sad because I definitely wanted him to win. And I was like, oh,
Aw.
uh, but otherwise, pretty solid. And Dijak's been, though I'm not a fan, he's been working, and so you can't be too upset about it. But like, it's just me being biased in regards to I like Tyler Bate more. But what were your thoughts on this matchup?
I feel like this was the match of the night. I thought this match was very, very solid, and I'm with you. I had so when we do these shows and you're watching, you already go like, oh, that guy's winning, that girl's winning. You kind of have a sense of direction. And I had Tyler Bate because I don't like agreeing with you, so I want you to know this, Roderick. But he said, to be honest, I was hoping that Tyler Bate would win because he feels that he would be a great fit for the NXT deadline. I agree to that. I really thought he would have been so great in the Iron Survivor match. But Dijak, and I've seen Dijak for years. I mean, more NXT stuff rather than anything outside of NXT. So I know how agile he is for a big man. But still, when he did the moonsault or backflip off the turnbuckle, I said, "Whoa!" Still impresses me seeing that. Big dude, and I think he's a good fit for this match too. I didn't have him to win. I had Tyler Bate, but I can't sit here and go like, why did they go with that pick? I sit here and go like, good job. I didn't see it. I think he's going to be a great. I think he's going to be great in this match. So yeah, maybe there's a something where they have. I don't know how many. I don't know how many weeks we are from. I think it's like December. I don't know if it's the first or second week of December, but maybe Tyler Bate has a, like a second chance at it because I think he would be a good fit in it. But this match was fantastic. It was great. It was what you want when you watch wrestling. You want to sit and go, "Oh snap! This was great." So I really enjoyed this match, very much. Very
Yeah,
very much.
no, this is probably one of my favorites of the night as well. Honestly, I thought this was very, very well done. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, you know, we'll see with regards to what's going to happen with Lee because he's definitely been MIA for a little bit.
Right.
He's been MIA, and so it would be nice to kind of see where he's going to go up. But like I said, this was probably one of my favorite matches of the night. Truly, it was really, really, really well done. Um, but yeah, this now leads us to our last segment of the night, which was a segment between Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams face to face. And so, there's been a lot happening, especially after Trick was injured backstage. And it's been said most of us think Carmelo might have been the one who done it. I might have to feel the comment, especially after the look he, he gave him. So Trick does say he didn't really see who attacked him, but I feel like Carmelo's response to that gave me the vibes. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
That part.
It also seemed like, that Trick had a little bit of a problem with Carmelo really not taking, having his back like he has done for him. But then this leads us to Lexus, Mr. Lexus King, coming out and interrupting, and he pretty much stirred things up. Uh, and I did like there was a clip they kept showing with him with his glasses with the fake pocket. And I understood that vibe so much because anybody who's ever wore like a dress or bought jeans where it was not the real pocket and you're sitting here highly upset, like I can't put it in the pocket because the pocket technically does not exist. I felt those vibes when he was trying to put in his glass and he just tossed them to the floor. And I was like, felt those vibes, Lexus, felt those vibes. But anyway, during all of this, Lexus kind of stirring things up. Trick will hit Carmelo, and I'm gonna assume because this is something that Lexus did say like a week ago when he had the interview with Mackenzie Mitchell that he did something bad. It could be possibly like he might have been the one after all to go after Trick and maybe not Carmelo. Um, and maybe this just kind of caused them to have a problem or something, and maybe Carmelo really didn't do it, or maybe he did, and maybe he's just playing it very well. Who knows? Or maybe they're working in this together. Uh, Trick, I did like that Trick did say, "Why can't you be there for me like I was there for you?" I thought was really solid. And then Carmelo said, "Everything that John Cena told you, I told you months ago," and he, saying that he could be like a once in a lifetime type of performer. But Trick would hit Carmelo during this, and then afterwards they would embrace. But this is where we get the whole him looking like Bishop from Juice, where I'm like, I don't know, Carmelo, I don't know. Your facial expressions here look kind of suspicious. But otherwise, I personally thought it was a fantastic segment. I do think this is setting them up to beef with them, but it's also very possible by adding Lexus too that he might be the one involved, and maybe he just want to cause some drama. Maybe he just want to start. We saw the two of them as like best friends, kind of always had each other, and maybe, yeah, Carmelo's probably not being the best friend if he didn't do anything, and maybe Lexus is kind of playing on that. So we'll see. But what were your thoughts on this segment?
You talked about the stuff about Trick, and you was mentioning him saying why wasn't you there for me? I was there for you. That's that CW acting. That's what they are. They're getting ready for that CW. That's that CW money kicking in. Um, I do think Lexus didn't do anything. So here's the thing. I do enjoy that we're gonna get Trick against Mello, but we don't give that away right away. We have some kind of bump in the road. I like that. It's like another layer into the story. It's like we're gonna get there, but then there's this before we get there. So I do like that. Lexus King, this is good for him. I mean, this is it's a big program for him. So good for him. Good for him. I thought this was good stuff. It was good. It was good stuff. And like you said, with the stuff. So part of me don't want it to be Mello, but then when you point out, like, look how Mello's looking at that camera. Look at that. That's something else. And then you got Mello on the Twitter, and you got a picture of Snoop Dogg doing this, and everyone's sitting there saying, looking at him like, come on, dog. We know you. Come on, stop it. So great stuff. Great stuff by everybody involved.
Yeah, I definitely. I think whenever we do guys, I think we are gonna get a match. You can't, after all of this, you can't not like have a match. I feel like it has to be, you know, we got to get that match. I do think it'll be fantastic whenever we get it. I do think because um they were supposed to be like best friends and everything else, and we kind of saw the dissension between the two of them over the last few months with how both of them were kind of doing their own thing, and you kind of looked like maybe Trick was the one that was a little upset, and then kind of Trick had his moment, and it seemed like the audience really gravitated to him, and so it could really go either way. And we'll see. I feel like they always randomly find peeps because like the NXT in general always seems to know when stuff goes down. They make us wait, but they usually eventually would know who it is. Eventually. Uh,
Jeffrey's saying we need to get the first tape. We never got the tape on all these people who was getting beat up in the parking lot. It took the person to just say, "Hey, I did it." So I don't know if we're ever going to get this tape to begin with. I do want just to point that out. We never got those tapes to begin with.
that is true. That is true. There's definitely certain incidents where we
Mhm.
didn't know who, and it was like everybody getting beat up, and nobody. It was always
And there's
that
no.
random person who had like that really weird background footage, but nobody never knew what happened. And you're like, how do you get the footage and you don't know who did it? Like that's that crazy to me. Um, but
Right?
otherwise, that is the end of our NXT recap. Uh, it was pretty solid. Again, I thought it
Yeah.
was pretty solid show. I not as like fun as Halloween Havoc, but I think it's just because it's Halloween Havoc and point of preference. But you, Ron, tell everybody what you got happening, where they can find you, and all that good stuff.
So I'm on social media. You can catch me on Instagram, Twitter, bad guy underscore Jack. I don't think I say that enough. I'm on Twitter. I do stuff on Unpopular View. I talk wrestling. I talk NXT, or whatever they need me for. Because when in doubt, break glass. Jack is there. Same thing with entertainment. I talk. They give me the geek stuff because if you told me to watch, I don't know, some movie with Jack Nicholson, I will get, check this out, a good 8 hours of sleep. So I will not be doing that. So anything nerdy, I do it. I'm here on for the Big Pop Theory podcast. We're trying to get some content here on the YouTube. I'm trying to get some friends. Maybe we get you on here, Katrina, because I feel like yelling at you. Because I didn't forget about that tweet you sent me earlier today. I want you to know that. I want everyone to know that. And we're trying to get some content. We're trying to review some old school stuff eventually up here. Eventually. So I don't want anyone saying when's it coming, but eventually. And also for the Big Pop Theory podcast, I'm joined with Shay Sawyer. I'm yelling at her as well because my points are better. I know it because I checked the score. I'm looking at the score right now. 100, Shay, -2. So that's what I'm just going to get at. So that's how things work. It's an audio podcast. We talk about wrestling, and it's going to be an interesting week. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw. I'm going to talk about Gunther, and we're going to talk about NWA. There's a joke in there. You already know where it is, and I'm just going to stop there. Yes. And tacos. That's what I'm talking about, Jeffrey.
Tacos is always great. Just can't go wrong with tacos. Um, duo.
Eventually,
Well, to be fair, we kind of did at one point duos a bit
we did.
previously, like 2020.
2020, yes, that's right. When I first started entering the podcasting world, I worked with this lady and she welcomed me. And I told her off air that I knew that we were going to get along. When I said Seth Rollins looked like Cruella DeVille with that jacket, she laughed. She understood that. Anybody that gets Disney references and laugh, I sit here and say, "You are now a part of my tribe." She got the key to the Jack of House or the House of Jack. Because I don't give too many people the key because they only have one chair. And I'm going to sit down because I am tired of the nonsense. Tell them where they can find you, Katrina.
As for me, I am on most social media platforms in Cat We Trust, Threads, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, either three. I do have some new interviews coming out. It's been a bit hectic on the mom end. I am I got two senior kitties, and so it's been a bit hectic. It really has been. Um, but yes, just I have a kid like graduating high school, and so it's been a bit nuts.
Woo!
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yes, and so that's kind of why I've been a little bit slacking with some of the content, only because I've obviously just been too busy. But you guys will be having some new ones coming up. I did have it set up, so that will be happening. Obviously on Mondays with Stephanie, we do the WoW show, talking about WoW Women of Wrestling, which airs on Saturdays. We talk about it on Mondays, and then obviously with Shay, normally talking about NXT. Thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. And if you are going to Survivor Series, because now I will be there, if you are going to be in Chicago, I will be doing press on the In Cat We Trust, and so it should be super freaking awesome. And so if you are there, come say hi. Like, tell me who you are if I don't recognize face. Um, See, every time I try to end the show,
I saw that too. I mean, I looked down. That's what I said. Oh boy.
every time I try to end the show on a positive note, you guys got to do these shenanigans. Like, first of all, she was already talking about Cody Rhodes as well, and she almost got adopted. And so because of this, like,
Almost adopted. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with this woman? What are you doing?
take my
What are
child.
you doing?
Okay, so we talk about Cody Rhodes in my house. Okay, but so she was actually the one who told me when I was saying on Facebook, when I was pretty much saying, when I was like, oh, Roman Reigns won't be a survivor. So she's like, what is Cody Rhodes? And I was like, so clearly you want to not live here. And so, but you guys can catch me obviously talking about NXT with Shay normally on social media. Again, if you it's going to exist now because she's doing shenanigans. She's supposed to know me well. Okay, as her mom, she's supposed to know me well.
That's true. You have to learn. You got to learn your mother because they can easily open the door. I know this because at 4, my mother opened the door for me.
My
So yeah,
youngest daughter knows how to say these shenanigans. It's my other two. They want to do shenanigans. My youngest daughter knows me well.
she's just a
But
rebel.
but if you guys are in Chicago, just let me know it's you. I may take a minute, to be honest, because sometimes I'll be like, wait, what? Oh yeah, this happened to me twice already. Somebody's like, I met you before. I'm like, you have, and it wasn't a purpose. I just couldn't remember. Like,
I
so
do have to sit here and say, when you go to Chicago, and we had quite the trip when we went to Chicago earlier this year. When you go there, because when we went to Chicago, Chicago's were nothing but cowards because we went there to get some Chicago pizza, and they sat there and said, we have no Chicago pizza. That's like literally going to Popeye, and they said, we have no chicken. Huh? What are you talking
that
about?
was
How do you
true.
not have that?
That was crazy. We was like, how do you not have a deep dish? That's what you're supposed to be known for. I didn't
Yeah.
understand that.
That was awful. So I do hope that you go down there. I do want you to record you eating some Chicago pizza, and I want you to report back to me and let me know how that pizza was because I think they're cowards. I think they know when New Yorkers are down there, they said, uh-oh, it's time to hide. Let's hide underneath I always image someone when they run from their responsibilities, they close the door and they hide underneath their beds. That's you, Chicago, when you try to not give us some pizza. So I hope that you do get some pizza and you try it. And if it's awful, please let me know. If it's good, don't tell me because I don't want to hear that because our pizza's better.
No, I feel like if it's awful, it's gonna be all on my face. I can't even hide. Like, if something's not good, I will be like, ew, what is this? But but I can find some. I'm gonna definitely try to have Chicago pizza because it definitely was there. We was there, and hopefully it'll be a less eventful trip going than it was last
Yeah,
time.
no, the last time we went, it was literally a journey. It was literally our journey there was a whole season of a CW season, and that was only one season. That meant like it took us a while just to get there.
Crazy stuff. So hopefully everything. But if you are in Chicago, I would like to meet you. Just let me know who you are, because I'm gonna be probably kind of tired. But as always, guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you, Ron, bad guy, for popping in for Shay and making me laugh and doing shenanigans as always.
I wanted to bring the noise. You guys have been killing it. I tell Shay, I'm telling you on air, you guys have been doing a great job. I would say the greatest duel, but anything with me is great. So you're gonna have to deal with number two mistrust. I'm sorry that you have to, but I'll give you a spoon so you can deal with this plate of second place. But great job that you two do, and everybody's looking forward to seeing the next installment that you guys do.
Thank you. Yeah, we got some stuff happening. As I said, I can't really say exactly everything yet, but there is some awesome news coming from me and Shay, and so as soon as I can announce it, I will. Um, but as always, guys, we thank you and appreciate you guys for always hanging out with us. And a special shout out to you, George, because you are always on it, and I just respect the dedication. Like you are on it every time, every week, and so we truly love and appreciate you guys as always. And until next week,